Bubba became an annual event pretty early in Rick and Bubba history. 17 years ending, and that is the Rick and Bubba Players. Twas the Night Before Christmas. This is the 2011 edition, and it usually features characters that have been prominent over that year, and some of them are just staples that have lasted and the test of time. So here it is. It will feature a number of people, and I'll kind of announce them as they happen. But we begin. He's fresh off his Christmas carols. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas 2011 starts with a very popular character from 2011, and that is Lou Holtz. So Dr. Lou will get 'Twas the Night Before Christmas started. Dr. Lou, go right ahead.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, except two manicurists, Asian leprechauns that looked identical to one another, and they came and sat on Daddy's lap. Not even a mouse is stirring in the house, which means this must be night before Christmas. Actually, we are 400% sure because stockings are hung by chimney with care, in hopes that Kris Kringle soon bring egg rolls and fly why.
Good old boy theater, a classic.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their
Bubba pausing for effect. A sewer on Christmas.
heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled in our brains for a long winter's.
Oh, you cultured son of a gun, Merry Christmas.
Now,
Rick and Bubba's man on the streets, the great Roger Lewis. Roger, Merry Christmas, and go ahead.
Good morning, Merry Christmas. When out on the something or other, there arose such a clatter, I sprang out of my bed to see what was the matter. Apparently, there was nothing going on. I'm not quite sure there wasn't, but I don't think that's part of the story. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Roger. The Asian accent, big every year, really a staple this past year.
I want to know first off, who this little man trying to Asian? He no sound like we sound. The moon outside was pressed a new fallen snow. You too big, come in here eat. You stop eating, you get in the kitchen. New fall snow gave the luster of midday objects below. When to my wondering eyes should appear Yankee dog, but miniature sleigh, 8 tiny reindeer, with little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it was Yankee dog Saint Nick.
Michael Jackson.
before I get started, Rick, I just want to thank Tito and the family. I want to thank Elizabeth Taylor and all the children of the world. Thank you so much. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted, and he called them by name.
Of course, the bit from last year, You and I, is old men. Bubba, is it our time to talk about it?
Go!
Now,
They're
Dasher,
saying go, Rick, go!
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and have you seen a picture of my grandchildren? Vixen.
What are we doing, Rick?
Keep on with the reindeer, you idiot.
On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, and who am I?
To the top of the porch. Speaking of my porch, get out of my yard. To the top of my garden wall. Now dash. Dash away.
Dash away. I need some prunes. Oh!
Welcome to the program, Dip and Dan.
Glad to be back. Here on the year that the Auburn Tigers are still national champs. I told Nadmeyer he'd have to eat it. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly. When they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up on the housetop, the coursers they flew. Hey, Greg, get me a cup. I'm drowning over here. Put me a little paper towel there. Thank you. With a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas, too.
Yeah, the top of the morning to you, dipping down. Yeah, I was twinkling up on the roof, and I heard the prancing and the pawing of each tiny little roof. And as I drew my head in, I thought to myself, it's good to be Irish. It's good to be Irish, and here at the Irish pub. And I drew my head, and I was turning around. Down the chimney came St. Nicholas. He came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur. Because that is the official uniform from Field Marshal Van Buren. From his head to his foot, and his clothes they were tarnished with ashes. Is that the fuel? And soot.
I want you to come over here and give your Aunt Martha some sugar. Merry Christmas. I got a bundle of toys he'd flung on his back, and he looked like the Detroit Lions. I've been up here living here in Detroit for years, and I thought this was the years we could have a team, and now it's all falling apart. He had on his back, he looked like a peddler, or my former husband opening his pack, and his eyes, how... Come over here, give Aunt Martha some of your sugar. They twinkled, and dimples, how merry.
Yeah. He's a man with a Mayweather plan. He's a mighty James Spann.
James Spann, Merry Christmas.
He's the man, Rick and Bubba's biggest fan.
His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the...
Don't say it.
I have a hard time saying this word. As the... This is going to create mass panic in the streets and all of the milk and bread about to be emptied off the shelves across this great nation. As white as the snow.
There it is. He said it.
Snow.
He said it. Thank you, James. Merry Christmas. Successful older white guy. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Silver Bell. We're in the Christmas spirit this morning, guys. How's it going?
We're doing great. I tell you, the stock market's just a wreck.
How about that Dow Jones? I tell you. The stuff of a pipe he held tight in his teeth. Mm-hmm. Hey, how about running over to Starbucks for me? You mind that, Margaret? Heavy on the amaretto. And the smoke. It encircled his head like a wreath. All right, Christmas bonuses for everyone.
Well, good to hear old Don Juan in there.
Yeah, good to hear you, President Clinton. How are you?
I'm glad to be back. You know, I hadn't heard from Don Juan in a while. Glad he's here. Last time we were together. I'm not really in the Bill Clinton mood today.
By the way, I can't get over the fact that successful older white guy sounds like President Obama.
I know it does. He had a broad face. He did. And a little round belly. That shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly.
The real Greg Burgess.
Little side note. How come everybody's playing these exaggerated characters and I'm the only one being myself? I ain't sure how to take that. Not sure about it. Just now realized everybody's making fun of me. Just now realized. He was chubby and plump. Big old red rump about 3X handles wide. Right jolly OF. I laughed at his big OA when I saw him. In spite of myself. Then offered him up eggnog with just a bump of seriousness. Just a bump.
I'd like to tell Greg Burgess Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, hitting boys in the hissy. I went to Vagina, twisted his head. She told me to know that I had nothing at all to do with it except this.
There, boy. Bucky Beaver, welcome back.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. You know, I know a little something about work. Greg, you're one of my favorites, too. You're as much fun as a cavity in the front teeth. And he filled all the stockings, and he turned with a jerk. Speaking of Greg. And laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney, he rose.
Dickie Nadmeyer's in the house. I'd like to start out with a big crimson and white road. Dad. I'd have money down. We're about to win another one. We're about to win another one. This will be National Championship 26. I wrote that.
You were worried about me?
Well, he sprang to his sleigh, and Phyllis and I gave him a little whistle. And they flew like the down on the down of a thistle. As I choked back tears, dreaming of Bear Bryant, the greatest coach in the planet. I thought to myself, Nick, you remind me of somebody. And you are my Saint Nick. I love you crimson and I love you white. And we're going to win another national championship. Roll Tide and good night. And I said happy Christmas to all.
And to all a good night.
There it is. The Rick and Bubba players with this year's edition of Twas the Night Before Christmas.